Good morning and welcome to Moopsy in the Morning for January the 20th, 25. I'm supposed to do something today. I don't remember what it was, but I remember something's happening today. I am joined by Taz this morning, and we're talking about the essence of the good beef stew of Star Wars, which has become kind
Good
of like
morning.
it's become a cheap hamburger. Good morning, Joshua. Good morning, Chris.
Good morning,
Morning.
Liz.
So yeah, that's what it was. It was Star Wars is beef stew. It takes time.
Mm-hmm.
You've got to have good core ingredients, but it requires perfect seasoning to make it work. And they went from that to I wouldn't even say McDonald's hamburger because sometimes McDonald's hamburgers are good. What's a really bad, cheap, generic fast food? Whatever it is, I don't know. Maybe it's a Taco Bell now. It's just, it's there if you're that hungry, but it's not very good.
What are you talking about?
Star Wars.
Hamburgers and Star Wars? That
Yes.
doesn't come together.
Give me one sec here.
Well,
Dynamic.
we are
What's the
talking
analogy
about
now?
it's like using the right ingredients, and when you start throwing the wrong kind of peppers in,
Yeah, yeah.
you make the stew sour, and it's not supposed to be sour, you know?
So what made Star Wars great, and this also reflects over to Star Trek, but what made Star Wars great was great internal characters. I mean, we had really good characters that we cared about. Whether it's Luke or Darth Vader or Yoda or Lando Calrissian, all of the characters were very well constructed. They weren't deep, but they were good. And then the pew pew and the effects and everything else that gets added to it are the spices and the things that just
Just
bring
the
out the
flavoring
essence
added
of
to
it.
it.
Right. And
Yeah.
then we have moved over to what we're seeing now, for the most part, not everything, is they're like, oh, well, they like the hot pepper, so let's just make it an entirely Scotch bonnet and habanero pepper stew, and forgot that we need the
Mm-hmm.
core ingredients in there. But
Yes,
so
that's
we're
true.
talking a little bit about Skeleton Crew, which I've heard great things about. But Taz pointed
Uh,
out that because we've gotten burned so many times, people are just kind of ignoring it or not
I've seen
bothering.
that surprisingly towards like compared to like the good reviews. It's like it has very low viewership in terms of like
Mhm.
all the other stuff that Star Wars
Right.
has done so far, and under Disney. I
Yeah.
mean,
Because, I mean, we just came off what? The Acolyte?
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Oh,
Acolyte is definitely estranged a lot of people. Like they've.
Yeah.
It's like to me, it's like they pulled off oversaturation that Marvel did for a long time. Like for once, that one thing, the films haven't actually voted much confidence into the franchise. A lot of people were restrained by the films
Yeah. Yeah.
because they were basing themselves on nostalgia too much. Not very like there was no plan. I mean, there was a plan, but the problem is that they gave free reign to directors instead of like directors for the original trilogy that Lucas came up with. Every one of them had a different director, but the directors were just supposed to like guide the film, not shape it in full.
Yeah.
They weren't fully responsible for like co-creating the story. Story written by Lucas in the shape of what he came up with, molding other concept that he already was had in his head. But like in the end, the directors were just supposed to like maintain the integrity of the stories in the original trilogy. And here they like went for J.J. Abrams and they went for Johnson, whatever the name was of the director.
Mm-hmm.
And they got too much freedom to like do whatever they wanted, especially with the second director. And funny thing is that the second movie of the sequel trilogy is probably the best ones out of all of the three, because they actually have the nerve actually to pull off the unexpected. And then they
The
went with
unexpected
salvaging
isn't
this.
necessarily good.
Yeah, I mean, overall the trilogy is abysmal because it didn't have like a core idea. It didn't actually stay close to any sort of idea. It didn't like have an idea what stories it wanted to tell. It used characters. It pitched characters into it, like Finn and
Hmm.
Poe, and then they
But
completely
I think they could have gone crazy with Finn.
wasted
That
them.
yeah, they wasted it.
They wasted it. Like people were shipping them, like imagining maybe they would be the first gay couple or something like it, because they had this some sort of spark in there
Mhm.
that had like kind of a vibe to it. No, they didn't. They wasted both of them. Finn could easily had an idea for being like someone who doesn't have to be trained with the Force, who uses a sword.
Yeah.
Still not. Like everything that could have been like the ideas in the Force Awakens, as much as repetitive compared to New Hope, it was because it was awfully
It
just.
was repetitive in the sense of it was identical, just changed a
It,
few minor details.
the story was so identical, it was disgusting. It was like it feels like someone just wanted to scrap New Hope and make a new one. Like
Okay,
it
so
felt like a
Yeah,
remake more than anything.
getting
yeah,
back to
Um,
because
go ahead, Chas.
with the new trilogy, one thing that actually surprised me was they were going to use the old characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because we started off with 4, 5, and 6.
Right.
Then we got 1, 2, and 3.
Uh-huh.
And 1, 2, and 3 followed Darth Vader, and it was quite the adventure, actually. And I always envisioned episode 7, 8, and 9 to be a completely different crew, if you understand, or
Yeah. Well, in essence, each group of
not
three
as
was as
close bound in as they did it. I was expecting something new, and they kind of continued where I left the story of 20 years ago.
mm-hmm.
That felt like, really? I felt that story was kind of done.
Yeah, it
When they
yeah,
were
was.
but
It
because
sitting
was
it
there
done.
in the
was.
last episode, talking to the ghosts and being like, "Yay!" It was like, this story has come to a closure. I'm ready for the new big adventure.
Yes, yes. So
And
if you're gonna
that
They could
didn't
have easily
happen.
just used the finish of the episodes 6 by just like telling how New Republic shapes up,
I mean there's a better
And
how
story
and
there.
people around it are shaping up, how there is like they could have just used the same thing that was used in the video games, the Imperial Remnant that wasn't easy to
Mm-hmm.
let go. They still struggled and cling to their power in regions of space, and they could have been like a crew of misfits that joined together because they
yeah,
want to fight it or something like it. They would like they could bump into Luke Skywalker
Yes, yes,
because
I was just
someone
gonna
was
go there.
sensitive with Force and his new Starfleet Academy. Like
hmm
he was founding a new Starfleet Academy, but free of the dogma that was known from the prequels.
Mm-hmm.
That could have been easily just be like he's opening a new start, open to like not throwing anyone away. So even
hmm
like stormtroopers could like
Oh my
join
god.
if they were force sensitive or whatever, because there was
yeah,
still he saw past the most evil person in the universe was his father, who just went so far, too far into the dark side, and yet he still believed in him, so he could just translate all that hope. That's what I hated about the way they used Luke and the sequel trilogy. Because
yeah,
one
oh,
thing that was his signature element, he actually got it from his mother, I guess, and that was kind of repetitive in the finale of the the Return of the Sith,
Were
when
you
mm,
it
gonna
was
say the Lord
indicated
of the
that Padme
Rings?
believed in Anakin's goodness. She
Yes.
still sensed goodness in him, and that was the essence of Luke.
Mm-hmm.
He always still believed in the goodness of him, but the Luke in the sequels completely like ditched it away. Like he
Which
lost
you
it
can
to
do that. You can make that in the second arc, but then you have to make that, or sorry, the third arc. You have to make the story then revolve around Luke, what happened to him, and his redemption. And the thing is, we've already told Luke's story. We want a new story.
Yeah,
mm,
that's the thing. They should not like for once that it just wasted the character because he was like the beacon of hope, like someone who always sees the goodness in even the most evil people. And that was for me it was one of the most amazing things about Luke Skywalker. He was like he came from poverty, obscurity and like, just being completely ignored because his uncle was just too afraid of him, I guess.
Mm.
But he yet toppled the monstrosity that was the Empire single-handedly because of his hope in his father, his belief in his father, that there was still some goodness in him, and he did not believe that he was fully dark. And then they
mhm.
just wasted all that in the sequel
Yeah.
trilogy. They
Don't you get the
relied
feeling that
too
they pulled the
heavily.
sequel trilogy plot together in like a long weekend with a case of beer? I mean, it's like,
It
oh, we
feels
already
like
got
that.
something good. Yeah, let's just do that. And, throw it in Good Morning Dread Night. We're discussing Star Wars, which I know is weird, but it does feed back to what Taz and I were talking about before the show got started. But, yeah, it just felt so unoriginal and without appreciating what Star Wars was.
Hmm.
Yeah, it was always trying to tell some fresh stories, even like if it went on the prequel trilogy, which wasn't received the best, but now I think it shines compared to the sequel
Yeah,
trilogy.
yeah, absolutely.
Um, but like it tried to like at least tell it from a different perspective. Like it tried to like Lucas wasn't afraid to experiment. He's not the best storyteller, especially when comes to directing, but he had some sort of idea. He
He-
should not be allowed to write dialogues. He should not be allowed to write scripts. He can write an outline for a story because I can give him that. He created an amalgamation of cliche stories, but he told it in a fresh way that captivated a lot of people in
yeah,
a way that felt
the
that
story
it was
was
something
not
new, original,
original,
and
but
completely unseen.
you're right. The way he told it was original. Hang on, let me jump to. I was putting out the Today in Trek yesterday, and I came across a description of DS9, what it was supposed to be. This is just supposed to be the opening sequence, or the opening episode, and the description is: unhappy with the new treaty, Federation colonists along the Cardassian border have banded together. Calling themselves the Maquis, they continue to fight the Cardassians. Some
Yeah,
consider them heroes, but the governments of Federation and Cardassia, they are outlaws. What if we were able to do a Star Wars in that same thing, rather than looking at it from the perspective of, Luke, Leia, and Han being the heroes, and the Empire being the bad guys? Let's take it like you were just saying. Let's take some outliers. Let's take Finn and maybe a couple others and tell the story from a different perspective.
yeah.
And that leaves us.
Especially like it could just show us a little bit of that. Like whatever happens to all those legions of the the troopers? I mean, we knew
Yeah.
they weren't using clones at the time of the Return of the
Hmm.
Empire, New Hope, because they already run out of like money to clone, and
Yeah.
they were just managing them psychologically through the
And clearly it
through.
wasn't perfect because we get our Finn, which means if we've got a Finn,
Yeah,
we've got other characters. Let's tell
yeah.
that story. If you wanted to be female centric, fine, Finn's a female. I don't know how you're going to write that in there, but you could. You could make your story do what you want it to. And then you could get your female centric, but you could get a fresh take on it from the point of view of the Empire as it's failing because the rebels are slowly winning over planet over planet. It's not going to be instantaneous, but
I
it's
mean,
going
the
to happen.
first like 40 minutes of Star Force Awakens could have been a great pitch for that kind of crew.
Yeah.
Scavenger living on a desert planet, like yeah, sure, that sounds familiar, but it's like she's a female. She's very self-reliant. She's like she depends on herself. She's great handling herself
Hmm.
without anyone, right? That's great. She's a great like a loner kind of type person. And then we have Finn who like he's a deserter because he hates what he does. He doesn't want to do it anymore. And he's like with the Imperial Remnant and he wants to dislodge himself from that
Well, if we're
machine
if we're
of
going to draw
terror.
parallels, Finn becomes Luke, not what's her name, Ray. Ray becomes Han, the person who's standing alone,
Yeah.
doing everything on their own.
Yep.
And then the only thing we're missing is the Leia component. I'm sure there's somebody in there who would fit or could be written in. But yeah, you can tell that same dynamic of,
Leia component,
yeah,
Poe.
okay, fine.
Poe
Then we
could
pull
be
it
great
together
for
that
either
way.
Finn or her,
Yeah.
or like that. And both the casting of all those people and the concept of these people would have been still great, but what
Hmm.
they did with them, like, it was such an abuse to even like anything Star Wars was about because for once they went for very cheap tropes with these characters.
That they did. That they did.
Like the stuff that like they show Poe, just love Oscar Isaac, and I'm so pained that he's been sidelined in the two subsequent movies to
It's because they didn't know
just a
what they
good
were
guy who
doing with the
does his
character.
thing and just like he had like if you removed him from those movies, how would they change? How would they change? What would they lose?
Yeah, but
There's just nothing because they still relied too heavily on Luke and Leia
mhm.
and Han in the first film and Chewie and like and the fact that R2D2 shot himself down, like, God, that was the stupidest thing ever. Because he lost his master. Like, I'm sorry, he lost his many masters over the years,
Yeah,
and he's
yeah.
never shot himself down. And like, what is this droid now force sensitive? Like, what hell
Oh
is
my God,
this?
wouldn't that have been interesting? A force-sensitive droid.
I
Oh,
mean,
there's a story
he,
for you.
that would have been story, but they didn't have the balls to actually try to even consider that.
Good morning,
Well,
Izzy.
uh, mind you guys, there is a lot of speculation on whether or not R2D2 was force sensitive.
I know, and I've read that online, and I was leaning towards this right from the first trilogy, because he did seem to act sentient and emotionally. Like,
Hmm.
of course, these droids were kind of emotional in some way, because even C-3PO was a panicky coward who kept like, "Oh no, we're doomed." He was like all over the place with all that. He did display, but like,
Okay, here's
Lu-
even in the first movie.
R2.
Remember when they're walking from one side of the hall to the other, and all the I'm going to call them phaser beams are
All
shooting, and they dodge all of
the
them.
blaster bolts.
Yeah, he managed to like dodge all of them by just
Walking.
ignoring like the
Yeah.
fire, and he didn't get hit once. Yeah, that was
Yeah,
definitely.
that's the first clue of it.
Yeah, from the very start, he was kind of like, but it was never like. I love that the original Star Wars movies never even answered that kind of question. It was there. The little nods to the fact that he's kind of different than all the other droids. Like,
Mm-hmm.
he's just not just lucky. There is something about that droid that, like, I don't know, force somehow clings around him,
Exactly. Yeah.
and like he seems to be somehow protected by the force in some way, even if
I
he's
mean,
not like sensitive
even
himself.
in Phantom Menace.
Essie,
Yeah,
come join us.
from the very start, when those droids were helping them escape
When all the other
Naboo,
droids
he
were
was
getting
the only one that
blasted.
was not
Yeah.
shot off.
Well,
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the
as he
only
just
one who didn't get shot from all the ship blast fire.
as
yeah,
he
which
says, there's
was
a theory that the reason droids have memory wipes and restraint bolts is the original uprising of artificial intelligence led to force-sensitive droids. The memory wipes prevent it. R2D2 has never had one though, so I kind of like that theory. Actually, C3PO. Does C3
C-3PO had a wipe, I think, but
He
after
he he
the
did, but it was much further in the movie line.
yeah
yeah, but again, he was kind of like still with R2, and I think R2 brought him up to speed with
yeah
stuff
exactly
because they were friends, they were clinging together.
yeah yeah
I mean, the only reason our C-3PO ended up with a memory wipe was because he tried to access restricted knowledge.
no he didn't
What?
He tried to read the Sith language.
no didn't he get a memory wipe in an earlier episode?
He
No,
got memory wiped in episode 3,
Yeah,
Attack of the
right.
Revenge of the Sith.
he did. I don't remember that
Yeah,
part.
when he was boarded with Captain Antilles
Right,
on
right, right.
Bail Organa's ship, he was like, "Yeah, and have the prodigal droid's memory wiped." And I was
What?
like, "Oh no!" It was C-3PO doing, "Oh
Yeah,
no," and R2
Yeah,
laughing him off.
but it never happened though.
we don't
It
know that.
happened in between the movies.
Right.
It clearly must have happened. There was no reason why wouldn't that happen.
Because
And he did indicate that he doesn't remember everything
and he
in
doesn't
New
remember
Hope.
Leia, and he would have. Well, he might not
He
have,
would
but
have mentioned her, so he definitely had that his memory wiped because he'd never remembered Leia. He didn't remember everything that happened
Yep.
in the Clone Wars and stuff. So there's definitely been gaps in his memory. Probably he never talked about them with R2, but still, he did have some recollection of some events. So definitely he might have picked up on the conversation with his Astro Droid buddy. Yeah, I always had this notion like I think there's something wrong with R. I mean, wrong. Something fishy about R2 being just this the one lucky one droid And I know this couldn't be just written into the story that he's so clever, but there are these little nods, and I love that they never confirmed or denied this. It was
Yeah.
never picked up in anywhere, and I like that there's that little secret that's never explained, and you can theorize in your head, and everyone can have their own head canon.
Well, there's
I
a
wish that.
character in Warhammer, Gunner, who is basically force immune, and nobody picks up on it because he's force immune. It's not the equivalent of the force, but it's a similar concept. And because he doesn't, because he's the atypical one, he can make sure, subconsciously, unconsciously, that nobody ever figures it out till somebody finally goes, hold on a second, everybody here is reacting this way to this thing, except this guy. I wonder. And, if
Right.
you are a force-sensitive droid, you could make it pretty easy for nobody to figure it out, because first, nobody's going to be looking for that. And then you can just gently reinforce that notion of, well, there's no force-sensitive droids here.
Yeah.
Go about your business. Anyway,
Yes.
would anybody like to do any pew-pew?
Yeah.
Good. I actually have a few.
I have some phaser damage in space on this one. Everything else is ground.
It repairs shields in space, destroys and Cathy ships in space.
I could do.
Non-restricted time.
I needed to tell you this. I know we all hate the jellies, right?
Yeah.
I was playing Zenkethi Front yesterday, just because I had Zenkethi to do, and somebody had a jelly, and he executed his jelly perfectly. He waited till somebody got the bomb, and he went out there and jellied each of the bases so they could come in and drop the bombs. It was perfect. This guy knew
Yeah, well,
what the jelly was, and he said he'd been working to make sure he could activate and deactivate it fast enough and move quickly enough to get from place to place so he could do that. And he was deliberately working to make jellies work. Angel
well, you
eyes.
can.
Angel
I
eyes,
mean,
beautiful. Yeah, I complimented him because I was in there with the POS ship, and I was able to drop 3 bombs because
Yeah,
of what he
because
was
he
doing.
was just taking care of the ships attacking you.
It was
Yeah,
exactly right.
that was a. I mean, any ship with a sentry mode like
Mhm.
this could definitely be used. And I'm not saying that jellyfish ship isn't useless. It's just being abused by people who just AFK matches.
Yeah, I
That's
just
the
wanted to
annoying
give
part.
out a compliment to somebody who bothers to do
Yeah,
it right.
yeah.
So, yay, Angel Eyes. Nicely done.
Yeah, consciously utilizing the ship's like
The way they should.
ability, main gimmick about it, without being detrimental to the rest of the team. That's great, commendable.
Yeah.
He deserves a commendation.
Crides, you want to join us for some pew pew?
Yeah, I'm gonna have some fun with today's stuff.
Oh, I haven't even looked
I
at what.
gotta destroy Herald ships and Undyne ships.
We can probably help with a little of that.
And the last one is I gotta see if I have any disruptor weapons.
Well, go throw them on right now. Oh, you have disruptor damage?
Yeah, I gotta do disruptor damage.
Well, then
Go-
you can kill 2 birds with 1
Yeah,
stone.
go get them on there real
Yeah.
quick. Quick like a bunny, throwing some disruptors.
I'm looking to see if I have any. It doesn't look like I do, not on this character.
Okay. Do you want to switch characters? Chris has sent you an invitation.
So just
Hopefully I sent you an invitation and didn't accidentally kick you from the fleet like I did with Taz the other day. Oops.
Oopsie.
Oopsie. Sorry about that.
I might have to get on a Klingon to do it.
Nope. Gotta go Federation.
Klingons work with us.
I mean, otherwise we have to go with a smaller party. And if we're gonna do, did you say we need to do Zinkethi?
Undyne and Herald.
No, I meant Chris.
I mean, I've got Zinkethi.
Right. So if we're
Oh,
gonna
you
do
got
Zinkethi,
Zinkethi.
we need you in a
Okay.
Federation ship because we're gonna need
All
5.
right. Let's see. Down to.
Which fleet am I in here? I know I don't have anything in the fleet bank. Wow, all these things are tripping. Go.
If I have to, I'll get something off the auction.
Let me go down and see if I don't think there's anything. Chris and Taz, you can ignore this. I'm just jumping down to look at the exchange.
Look at this. I have a best weapon, but cannon. You can use that.
How much disruptor damage do you need, first of all?
Good question. 500,000.
Oh, okay. That's a fair
Why is
amount.
it called Eagle? That's Aquarius. Why is it really called Eagle? I know it's Terran, but it doesn't make sense. Terran Eagle Pilot Radar.
Don't want to do any upgrades.
Curious.
People are getting smart, for the most part. Occasionally
No.
not too smart. No, I don't want to do that. I want beams. All right.
So I hear TikTok's back after 12
Yep.
hours.
Yep.
That's
Forgot
a
who
nice
mentioned it
staging of
yesterday about,
becoming a
oh
savior.
no. Yeah, it's going to be gone.
That's a nice way to stage a situation to become a messiah.
Didn't it get banned?
Yeah.
It did. It started with Donald D, and then he actually suddenly licked his fingers before even being sworn in, and it's back.
Well, okay. So, long story, but yeah, the upshot is it's back.
I mean, I'm glad it's back. I like the American creators. I run into a song yesterday on TikTok that is now just an earworm in my head. And
Earworms. Yesterday's earworms were something else.
I sent you.
Yes, you did.
What'd you think of it?
I enjoyed it.
It's hilarious. It's funny, but it's also a great earworm. Musically, it's amazing.
Okay. Pop these in.
Aww. Look at our little right-wing supporters of Trump not being allowed on the inauguration.
Nope,
Aww.
nope, nope, nopeity, nope. We're not gonna go. We're not gonna go politics. Nopeity, nope, 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 nope.
I
nope,
just
nope.
read an article.
Nope.
It was just hilarious. What's your weather like today, Mom?
Pardon? What's my weather like?
Yeah.
Well, we're at the high for the moment for the day, which is 3. It's
Alright.
supposed to drop down to 0 for a couple hours, but then later this afternoon we might get up to like 15. So, which I hope we do. I took the doggers out for a walk, and between the wind and the snow kind of just getting driven by the wind, we only got out for about an hour. But it was really good, but they were really cold, and we kept finding patches of ice, so I want to take them back out today. Are we all set here for Lil's and Kathy Front?
Yeah.
As ready as you're going to be? Okay. I have us queued for some Kathy Front? No, I don't. What's going on there? Hang on. Oh, it's because we're still on the old one, that's why.
I've seen another trailer, by the way, speaking of TikTok, of Sector 31 with Michelle Yeoh inviting to the trailer.
It is, yeah, Section
Still
31.
tells nothing about the story.
No, there's nothing about it. Zero.
So weird.
What we know is that she's fighting to save billions and confronting the sins of her past. Do we have a flashy green light for everybody?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah,
Yep.
there is basically no previews out there except that little trailer. And
So weird.
Michelle Yeoh doing a little bit of martial arts. When you don't have
Yeah.
trailers going out in advance, that usually means that the studio isn't really confident in what they're sending.
I mean, it is a direct-to-streaming film, so...
Which it
I
was
don't know.
always intended to be. It was never going to be a theatrical release. And while they had 2 seasons of episodes written, the reality is that that wasn't going to happen. After, let's see, it got delayed from COVID, something else, then she got an Academy Award and she was doing other projects. So they're just like, oh, wee woo,
Wee woo.
wee
We
woo.
were detected.
Wee woo.
We're
Detective.
preparing for warp.
So she says she's interested in doing, another movie after this one, so I guess she liked it. But from what I can see, it looks like it's going to be a good movie. I just don't know if it's going to be good Trek.
I fear there's going to be an action movie that is
Mhm.
trying to be Trek, but
It did
not
not
very
warp
well
me in
attached to it.
for some reason.
Pardon?
It did not warp me in.
We haven't left yet. That's why.
You haven't warped in.
Yeah,
We're
okay.
just
Yeah,
preparing for warp.
We just got the wee woo. We didn't get a we're going thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So
There
going
we
back
go.
to Voyager.
Isn't it
Go
isn't
ahead.
it the first time that we're having a film on Trek that is like a spin-off that's
Yes.
not directly about Starfleet crew
Correct.
ever
Yes.
officially?
Yep.
So this can go both ways. It can go. It's
it
great, and
could
we want
be
more.
great, yeah.
And
So get back to
That'd
what
be
they were
nice.
talking about with Voyager. What they had originally planned with Voyager was something that was a little bit more directed. Originally, it was going to be the story told from Tom Paris's point of view, as the character who was a failure in Starfleet and got pulled into this whole mess. And that got shifted really quickly. There was some talk about making it a Maquis-based point of view. That didn't happen. And then the writers thought, hey, everybody's kind of burned out on DS9 being so cerebral and, driven by philosophy and personality, that let's make something that's pew-pew oriented, basically. And I'm not entirely joking about it. They want an action-packed show. And I don't think quite turned out the way they wanted it to. But I think they forget that action-packed isn't necessarily what the viewers want in Star Trek. In some things, yeah.
I mean, I do enjoy the occasional run-in with other ships and like ship
absolutely.
fighting. But I don't think I would like the premise of a Star Trek show that's totally relying on
I'll
battle.
peep you all the time. I'm going to the north if anybody wants to give me a little coverage up there.
Destroy the station.
Maybe I'm going to the north.
I'm so in love with the fact that all 32nd century ships no longer have just a normal cloak, they have a proper, fully realized battle cloak.
Anyway, so Friday, I don't know what time it's going to be out, but when it gets out, we are going to do one of those live streams where we don't actually watch. Well, we watch it, but you guys can't watch it because I can't share it. Type things. We can discuss what's going on. And unlike Picard, I'm not going to try and edit it. With Picard, we're all like, don't say what's going on. We don't want to spoil it. For this one, we may spoil it for folks because you won't get it until the 7th of February. Chris and Taz.
I mean, I'm probably gonna watch it on Friday.
Oh, have you got access to it?
Yeah, there's this little website.
No. Shh. We don't want to get you in trouble, Chris.
I mean, I'm not gonna get in trouble here.
Okay, as long as you're not in trouble.
No one cares in Europe.
Oh,
I
sweet.
don't know. I mean, there's no law enforcing anything here.
Well,
If you're legally selling legally obtained stuff, profiting from it, then
Well,
that's a no-no.
great.
Probably target you, but
Maybe we can all watch it at the same time.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's on Friday, right?
Yeah, Friday.
Depends on what times it drop.
I don't
So
know.
I'm
I
still
haven't
working
seen
on
a time
Friday.
drop yet.
Why?
I just destroy another station.
Somebody did.
I remember launching it. I do still see the station, but the circle isn't here.
Yeah.
So I guess I destroyed it. Why did they never fix that? I will never
Well, it's
understand
because
this.
it wasn't originally broken.
No, it wasn't, but there was a bug. Eliminate it. Like, there was something clearly wrong with the physical model of the station still appearing
I
in
know.
the visual side of the match. And that's not normal. It's misinformative.
Ooh, our spam bot has protected us from spam. Thank you, spam bot. All praise the spam bot.
That's something you see we don't.
Oh, apparently I got my 500,000 phaser damage. Yay! Didn't even realize it.
Oh, I got my,
Yeah, I've
healing
only gotten
fountain.
7,000 of my disruptor damage.
You have any reflectiveness on your shields? Because that can sometimes...
What did you put on your ship for your disruptors?
Mark 12.
How many of them now?
3.
How much do you need?
500,000.
500,000.
So it's the biggest one. Oh, God.
Yep. Well, you
Yeah.
may be doing a little PP for a while, but
I don't have anything to disrupt Racket.
yeah,
Or
everything
out
I've got
there.
for disruptors on this tune and in the well, there's nothing in the fleet
Because
bank
you
except some
can character at
Zadvash.
this point. Because I do have 2 ships that run disruptors, but I can't show them outside. I can't.
Well, let's see where you're at when we're done here. See if I can grab something else.
You still
God
haven't
damn it,
seen
my
this.
ship keeps dying so quick. Why is it dying?
Well, it's in Kathy are pulling a punch. They're not withdrawing.
Yeah, but also
This is
depends on
advanced, so they will be.
what you've got on your
Or-
ship in terms of a build. And there happens to be at least one person in this room who makes really good builds, and it's not me.
Okay, that's part of. I'm running standard equipment
Don't do that.
on some of the items.
Okay, there's enough stuff that you can get through stories to, you know, cover your butt.
Well, no, I realized that.
Oh,
I
got
thought
this.
I had upgraded everything and
Oh.
I didn't.
Well, maybe that's part of the loadout, Joy, which I am not changing anything, but we should get the loadout thing fixed tomorrow. Yay.
Oh, I remembered something about Star Wars.
Yay.
Who do you think is the most underused character in the sequel trilogy?
In the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, the new ones. The main
Oh,
movies.
oh, God. I have no idea. I tried to put that out of my head. It's just... Finn. I'm gonna
I
say...
personally think it's Gwendolyn Christie.
Who's that?
She's a marvelous actress.
But, I mean, who'd she play?
Who'd she play though?
She played Captain Phasma.
Oh, yeah. I mean, she was supposed to be the thing, and then basically what you
Big
see in the
villain,
movie is
and-
like 10 seconds of her.
Yeah, that. What the hell is that? She's such a marvelous
Yeah,
actress.
she came out and she's doing all this stuff on the promotional tour about she's
Yep.
this character and she's doing this and she's doing that, and we
I
see
think
her
she
for like
wasn't
15
aware
seconds.
how much of her was cut out. I think they must have cut
Oh,
out
yeah.
the fun. Cut so much
Oh,
of her
yeah.
that she wasn't even aware of that.
Absolutely. All right,
Like,
let's.
Christ on the stick! Like that was such a big waste, and she's such a delicious actress when it comes to villains. And if you've seen the Sandman from Netflix,
No, I haven't seen
oh
that. I haven't
God,
seen
she
anything.
plays
This,
Lucifer there, and it's like the Sandman Lucifer, not the Lucifer from the series. She's-
hang on one second. You said you've got what for disruptors? Are you using beams, cannons, what?
Yeah.
I've got 3 beams.
Up front?
No. One in or sorry, two beams in the front and I just added a dual disruptor.
Okay, that's always in the front.
And then I've got one beam in the back with 2 quantum torpedoes.
Yeah, well, quantum torpedoes don't help for this. So, in other words,
Yeah.
you're running 4 weapons at the moment?
Yeah.
And how much damage did you get?
A second, putting some in the bank. There we go. 10,000.
You
But,
only got
I-
10,000 damage out of all of that?
Well, before I only had 3 beam arrays that were
No,
disruptor.
the question is you only got 10,000 damage out
Yeah.
of that? It barely
Yeah.
registered.
Exactly.
Something is really wrong there.
Yeah.
I know. I agree.
Yeah, why don't you fix the other parts of your ship? Yeah, Cliff, absolutely. I'm going to invite Cliff here. There you are, Cliff. And then we'll have a full team. Okay, since we now have a full team, do you have better disruptors on your Klingon?
Well, I'm actually
It's
buying
not
a
about the quality of the disruptors. It's this build. Do you
Yeah, I
have
know it's this
any-
build. I know to only get 10,000, there's something going on. Well, so the
I
Jupiter
just
then.
added 2 more beam arrays.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
but do you have an extender for your firing mode?
no, he doesn't. I will put money on that.
Have what?
Something to get your firing mode faster so you're not in cooldown so much of the time. Something to give you
No.
longer firing modes.
No.
Right. So this is the hard thing for me to learn, and my son never could explain it to me well, and it wasn't until his friend did they began to understand that it's not just the weapons, it's everything else that goes with it. So, for example, tactical consoles,
Yep.
like
That's
the,
one thing that I need to upgrade.
do you have them? I mean, even if they're not great, if you've got them, that's a start.
Well, the ones I had torpedoes, which
No, you'd be looking for disruptors of some sort or another?
I
Let me
understand that.
help you
I
out a
I
tiny
haven't had
little
a
bit here.
chance to upgrade.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
don't need an extender. If you don't have an extender, you need a second copy of the ability so they can run back to back. You will only have like a 5-second down delay, and that's not that big of a problem. Are you using beams or cannons?
I've got one
Did I just lose everybody's audio?
No, what did you say? He said he had one, and then he didn't say anything else.
one cannon, and the rest are beam.
Okay, so your main build is a beam build.
Mm-hmm.
Then you go and find 2 copies of beam array fire as well.
That is something I might actually have on here.
Yeah, being fair, will should get you up there easily.
When I have a endeavor that says that I have to do 500k damage of a weapon I don't have, I usually only replace one weapon, like a Omni weapon, and I let the auto fire take care of the rest.
Yeah, I think with Crites, what we need to do is spend a day helping him come up with a solid build. So Crites, pick some day that we can all team up with you to help you get a nice solid build where you can, be able to survive a little bit better and be able to have a little bit greater weapons efficiency so you can have more fun with it.
Does he have the Klingon Bird of Prey that came with?
I'm not playing a
Probably.
Klingon right now.
No,
I am
no, no,
playing.
no, stop. There's a bird of
We
prey
got
that's available for Federation officers. It was a freebie.
Yeah.
I don't have it.
Okay.
How do you not get that ship? I
Maybe he
think
wasn't.
it's like
Is it a promotion item?
it should be. All you had to do was
Okay, well, I've
play a
got.
KDF through the starting area.
Oh,
and
you're
you
talking
get
about that one.
Yeah.
Okay, yes.
It's got
That one
it's
I
got
have access
disruptors
to
on
it.
it.
Yeah,
I do. I have to go grab it.
Go grab it and
and
grab the
that
disruptors.
and
Yeah.
and that trait is account wide. So by
Yeah, I
unlocking
can I
that,
can grab it. Just give me a minute.
Well, while
I-
you're grabbing that, I'm gonna grab a cup of coffee and I'll be right
I
back.
think I have it in my that particular ship.
Yeah, if you've run the ship, you should have that available. I will be right back.
Oh, I meant it's in the dry dock. I think.
by having that trait,
Yeah.
you can extend cannon scatter volley, and for directed energy weapons, there is no better firing mode. And that means you will have your firing mode up 100% of the time, no downtime. At night.
Yeah, I am setting up the ship. Give me one.
Is your fan pointed at your microphone again?
No, it's pointed towards the ceiling.
Strange. I keep hearing this wafting sound when you become quiet. Yeah, like
Yeah, I
that.
hear it too.
Woof, 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 woof.
It's like wind was blowing into the mic.
Ow! Fuck! That's what I get. Trying to change it. There we go. Now it's completely up. I had it slightly down so that I could actually feel it, and now I can't.
Well, it became quiet.
Well, it's because I'm still
Yeah.
drinking my coffee.
Gone.
That's because I put it up, and now I'm
Is-
gonna be hot.
Open the window. It's 5 below zero outside. Yeah, I just was downstairs going, it's kind of cold. And apparently my heater, the furnace, is not keeping up with the cold, so it's about a degree cooler than I've set it for, but I can live with that. I can put on a sweater. But it does mean I have to look at my furnace and maybe replace that next year. Oh, joy. All right, are we all set here?
Yep. So I've got the spray, and 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, we need to do herald ships, is that correct?
Yep. Herald and Undyne.
Okay. Chris, what do you have for the day, if anything?
I've got left polar on damage, but I'm not changing anything in my build to accommodate that, so I'm going to ignore this one.
I also have to do the counterpoint mission, which is
Oh, let's see, counterpoint doesn't help with this one. So I'm going to queue us up for Herald Sphere since we got a team together. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
Sure.
Wee woo?
well, the counterpoint is because it's the universal.
Yes. Rule of thumb for universals is try to get them done the very first day, because as it goes later and later, people are less and less likely to join in.
Well, that depends on the Endeavor. Some of them will just pop in normally. If there's infected the conduit Endeavor,
Oh, yeah.
that pops in every time, whatever it's fresh one or not.
Yeah,
That
that
pops
one's
in
an
anyway.
easy one.
Yeah, it really depends on how they're regarded generally.
Counterpoint
Sometimes they just
should populate.
yeah.
What are we at?
Counterpoint
Oh,
is
my
still
God.
fairly okay. I think the more obscure one is the Days of Doom.
Where are we at?
By
Okay,
the
so
way,
the
how
one,
do we get the Voyager that I was mentioning?
it'll come
Without
out tomorrow.
Until tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. That's
Oh,
how you get
okay.
it. Today's universal, by the way, is earn 5,000 fleet credits.
Well, I'm not getting that. We don't have any random projects at the moment that could give me that.
I
I
What
mean, I
fleet are you
do,
in?
but I don't have duty officers. I don't trade them constantly, so I don't have any free that I can donate.
I don't have that mission.
It hasn't come up yet.
Not
It
yet.
will come up.
Oh, okay.
It'll
It's
come up in about
universal,
6
your
hours.
universal. Yeah.
Just letting you know. I will go through and queue up a bunch of events when at noon. No, I won't.
Is it bad that I have 2 different cloaks on this ship?
Only if it's taking up space from something else. Yay, we got the whole team in this time. Woohoo!
I also use 2 cloaks. One cloak that allows for torpedo firing and one cloak that allows for booby trap mechanics. So when I fly past a ship while I'm cloaked, it deploys small bombs around the ships. And when I leave cloak, all of the bombs go off.
That's so fun. That's so cool.
When it works, like it didn't
Get
right
one of
now,
them.
and that killed me. Go on!
I was doing something on the ground yesterday and I could not get my V'ger probes to launch. Over and over they just would fail. Maybe one time out of 5 they'd launch where I needed them.
I often have the issue with the.
Oh my god,
diorama
how much better.
console.
It's starting to go up like crazy.
Yeah.
I'm already up to 77,000.
Yeah, so no problem with getting it on this one.
Yeah.
I just realized I don't have my DPRM in my build. I'm gonna try.
What build are you running?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
Standard cannon build,
You?
basically. Cannon as
Okay.
in like serious cannon.
It's a
Ship
2
using
build.
the correct weapons for the era and time zone
Okay.
and
Okay.
faction. So it's 32nd Century Federation phaser being built with quantum torpedoes.
Nice. Do you
The
use
Maelstrom
do
quantum
you use
torpedoes.
do you use subspatial warheads?
No. Oh, this is the bug I have. DPRM, I press on it, it shows 20 seconds cooldown, and then it resets. And it
God
never
damn it!
activates.
I'm in one with, as I could tell, everything just evaporated before I could get any damage.
We call that
That's probably
Tazification.
Tazzy's side.
Yeah, don't go near Taz.
Yes. Well,
Avoid the
Oh,
Taz
now
thing.
it
I can't.
activated.
He keeps going wherever I am.
He's over here with me, making me look good at the moment, so...
Yeah. Well, I'm here too, apparently.
That's
Yes,
on
you
you.
are. There's currently
I can-
3 more setups here, so...
I can follow Chris.
Whoa, don't follow me.
You can follow me, I'm fine with it.
Get your own lane.
Got one. Dead. Next lane.
I'm going up towards 11 o'clock. Well, they say 7 o'clock, but I'm going to 11 o'clock.
Yeah, that
Or I'll go
sword
over here
gateway
with
is
this
gonna
bunch.
do you nothing. Go away.
Oh, there's Taz about to go in at the same one I was going.
What? Okay, now you're following me. If I'm there
Oh,
in
I wasn't
You
following.
stayed on
you're following me.
He's over
I
here
was-
with me, now stay
I
over
was
here
going
with me.
there because no one was there, and then all of a sudden you came flying in.
Good
so,
morning, this is Mur.
and I just went boom.
Don't worry, Mom also did go
Yeah, I
boom.
know. Mom got blown up real good. Am I damaged? Yeah, that's why.
You come with damage again.
No, I got it when I got here. It's like a good souvenir.
Oh, Mom. You hang their heads on your mantle, not gathered getting damage in your ship.
It's more like you hang their heads on your mantle, and I hang my head
Okay,
in
all of a
shame.
sudden it's like I'm not getting any damage.
Sometimes the counter lags behind a little bit. But remember, we still have 2 more battles to do. This one's got another 45 seconds. How much damage have you gotten?
115,000. All of a sudden it
150
just started
what you
like
need?
slowing down.
Mm-hmm.
At first it was like when we were outside the sphere, I was crawling.
What's your weapon power system? Like, where does most of the damn weapon power
Well,
go?
I mean, it was doing good out, like I said, outside. It was crazy. In here, it seems down.
That doesn't sound consistent
So-
unless you build change between matches. It should not.
Unless I
Fucking
fix
work.
it. Oh, that's why my ship got damaged.
Go take care of your damage.
I can't. I don't
Yes,
have
you
the
can.
one I need. Apparently.
Where are you?
Where's the gate? Where's the flippin' gate?
Heading to the center.
There, no
That worked.
damage.
Thank you.
There
I
it
don't
is.
know
I
where
must
the
have hit it.
gateway
Somebody
is
must have
because
hit
it's
it.
invisible.
Invisible gates. Yeah, that's one of the issues with this one. Crites, try and just get in place and work on the big ships. If there's a dreadnought, just go sit on that dreadnought. Don't go flying around, just go sit on it and pummel it.
Well, that's what I try to do, and then someone like Taz just comes
Nope.
in.
Just there's going to be 3 places here where they're coming out. Just go sit there on one of them. Don't worry about the little ships, just beat up the big ships because they will continue to take damage and you don't have to focus on
But
anything
Beamfire
else.
will should get you done.
Well, that cruiser went down fast. God dang it.
So there's a battleship over here.
Another thing on a raider.
Bird of prey.
The bird of prey.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
It's the only Klingon one I had access. And god dang, these things are going down way too fast. I can't even like target and
Well,
shoot or they're
They
dead.
are very small, so paper hull on those things is kind of their thing.
Each one will launch a battleship, so if it doesn't get zapped by Taz, great press.
Yeah, someone's targeting the battleships on me and just melting them.
So stay in one place. They're always going to come through the same portals. Don't go zipping around. Just wait it out.
Good news is I've gotten all the Herald ships done.
One would think, yes.
That would have been concerned if you didn't.
Since it's team kills on this one.
Right.
Wow. They just all evaporated all in front of me.
Been watching Thor.
Oh, that's
Ragnarok.
That's because
First time
Taz
ever.
is here.
Yeah, I know Taz is here. Good morning, Mr. Dave. How are you doing, dear?
Taz is just like destroying everything as they come out of the.
It's what he does the
Just
best.
remember, I have travel time on every projectile. So if you're using energy weapon, you're able to hit them before I do. And if you hit them before I do, you will get credit.
Yes, but I need to do a lot of damage, and you're like melting them super.
That's the thing with torpedoes.
Don't you have crap builds,
Oh.
Taz?
Oh, there they go again. I'm only up to 218,000.
Good, that makes you halfway there. So when we're done here with the show for the day, go to, like, Ruins of Doom or something like that, where you can work on your targets a
Okay,
little bit more
what
slowly.
the hell hit me? That
And
I went from
wedge.
full health to 0
Yep.
in like
That's because
1 second.
I'm not killing them.
Yep.
So
Okay,
it's
I
one of
couldn't
two
even
things.
see what hit me.
Either you get killed or I do all the killing.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I didn't even see what hit me.
Or you can toggle your damage thing and see what hit you. There we go. That was interesting. For a moment I was flying backwards, but without being backwards. By the way, Mr. Dave, you said happy holiday, but what holiday is it? Do we have a holiday today?
The ship is drawing power from the gateway.
Not that I'm aware.
Now, we won't be able to destroy it.
It's not maybe it's President's Day today? No, that's in February, I think.
What day?
I don't know what day today is, if it's anything. That's interesting. My ship doesn't want to turn. Oh, Martin Luther King Day. So a holiday in the sense that some people get it off, but most of us
The
don't.
network is the same. This will
So there was this thing back when Martin Luther King Day was first being suggested as a holiday, and the schools were like, "Great, we need another holiday," and the politicians were like, "But shouldn't this be a day to focus on teaching about Martin Luther King?" The schools were going, or we could have a holiday. Banks are closed. Well, that means the post office is closed too. Well. All right, so I'm going to get out of here because I have a jam-packed adventure day today. Woohoo! No, I don't. I just have a lot of stuff to get done. Your phone told you that. Your phone's smarter than mine. So on behalf of everybody here at Moopsy in the Morning, thanks for the really interesting discussion about Star Wars this morning. And got 4 more days technically until Section 31 comes out. I still don't have a time that it's going to get dropped, so if I find that out, I'll let everyone know. And we can chat about that again later. Game plan is I will be on tonight. That's not 100% sure. I'm going to kick from team, not kick from fleet. There you go. Learn that lesson.
Watch out.
Whoops. Yeah, Cliff, I heard Skeleton Crew was great. Or at least really good.
I'm planning to see it. I'm going through some of the Marvel
It
stuff.
was really good. I watched it.
I indulged in one thing this weekend. I bought Roku for my bedroom. And for the first time in 4 years, I watched a movie in bed. It was like, whoa, awesome. It's very
Isn't that comforting? Isn't that the comfort thing?
Oh my God, it was so amazing. I haven't done that for so long.
Do
And the
you
dogs
guys
were up
have
on the bed. It was great.
Roku, is that the same thing as Chromecast?
Roku is a little box that lets you move any of your streaming services that would normally be on your computer onto the little box. So you can watch like Hulu, Prime Video, whatever you've got a sub for off the little box, and you don't have to hook up your computer, for example. And in this case, you can do it off cable or you can do it off Bluetooth, and I run mine off my Bluetooth. So everything that I've got streaming services set up for on my computers, I can run off that without having to move a computer down there. And it has a remote control. So it's like, ooh, I can just pause the movie, tune up the volume. I don't have to actually do any exercise.
As I understand it,
Mom, when they say it's a bonus marks,
It means
does
you
that
get 50,
mean
you're getting 50% extra marks on TFOs.
that's reputation marks, right?
Reputation and,
Okay.
reputation marks. So if you're low on marks, this is a good day to be working on it. I think it ends tomorrow. Might end today. Not sure.
Well, it's right before the voyage where they. That means it starts tomorrow.
No, bonus marks is going on right now.
Oh, okay.
So Cliff was asking, am I on tonight? That is my plan. I will be on tonight. So everyone have a wonderful day. I will talk to you in about 12 hours.
have a great day, Mom.
You too, and as we like to say around here, stay moopsome.
Moopsome.
Moopsy, Moopsy.
Shun the non-believer.
Shut.
Yeah, we do like shunning the non-believers.
Take care, everybody.